This is the YUKA 2000 Robot Lawn Mower by Motion, and let me tell you, just looking at it in person, it absolutely stands out. The design is sleek and modern, with a compact shape that actually feels sturdy and practical at the same time. The white color with that tough plastic and metal mix gives it both a cool appearance and a durable feel. Definitely not your average mower. When you see the wide handle and the big wheels on the sides, it's pretty obvious this is built to handle way more than just a flat, boring lawn. Now, before I got this YUKA 2000 set up, I was kind of skeptical. I read about robotic mowers online, saw a bunch of ads, and always thought, okay, can this really mow the yard well enough to replace me sweating out there every weekend? I've got a mix of grass types in my yard and a mess when it comes to obstacles. There's thick Bermuda in some areas, crabgrass in others, a few trees, and my mailbox is always in the way. So honestly, I wasn't convinced a robot could handle all these quirks. Setting up the YUKA 2000 was a decent surprise. I just opened the box, followed their instructions, and plugged in the included charging station. There's this neat app you set up on your phone, really user-friendly, even if you're like me and not the best with new tech. Just connect the mower through the Motion app, and you're off. Mapping the lawn is way less complicated than I expected. You can basically walk the mower around the edge of your lawn or just use the app to tap out the zone. It uses these cameras in front and back. They even put a little windshield wiper on the thing, which is honestly hilarious, but makes total sense if you live somewhere rainy. And if you're wondering, the mower can work in the rain or shine, which is great. I've tested it on wet grass after a storm, and it tackled everything pretty well. One of the key features that really impressed me is the navigation. YUKA 2000 comes with what they call Ultrasense AI Vision and RTK. Basically, this means it's got smart antennas and cameras that help it figure out exactly where it is, even if the satellite signal around your house isn't that good. For someone like me with trees and structures all around, this makes a difference. The mower doesn't just guess and veer off into flower beds, it understands where the boundaries are. If anything is in the way, like my mailbox or a garden gnome, it'll slow down or gently bump, then back up and keep going. I've seen it pause, recognize the obstacle, then work around it, which really cuts down on any damage or headaches. The cutting is where I think this thing really pays off. The YUKA 2000 uses 2 spinning discs underneath, each one loaded with 5 sharp razor blades. Together, they give you a mowing width of about 12.6 inches, so it actually covers a good chunk of grass each pass. The motor is strong, 88 watts is no joke, and I've run it over some thick patches of grass that usually slow down other electric mowers. With this system, the cut is clean and even, and instead of leaving clumps or uneven patches, my lawn is starting to look the way I actually want it. There's also an adjustable cutting height. You can go anywhere from just over an inch to up to 4 inches, which is pretty versatile for weird lawns like mine. You pick the height from the app, so you're not fumbling under the mower with dirty hands. YUKA 2000 gives you about 0.5 acre of mowing on a single charge, and if you own a bigger lawn, up to 0.7 acre, it can still cover things by going out for multiple rounds, thanks to self-charging. Once it's done, or if the battery runs low, the mower just heads back to the charging dock, juices itself up, then gets back to work where it left off. Honestly, it feels like having a helper who just quietly gets things done in the background. One thing I really like is the app control. Besides mapping, it lets you set up to 20 different zones. For me, that means I can tell YUKA to focus on areas that get messy, like under the trees where the leaves drop, or to avoid spots where my kids leave their toys. The no-go zones are super handy, and you can literally draw them in on the map with your finger. Also, I can check in on the mower's progress anytime, see where it's been, what it's doing, and if it ran into any issues. Speaking of leaves and yard mess, YUKA 2000 isn't just a mower. With the sweeper kit, you'll have to buy this separately if you want it. You can click a basket onto the back. That means as it's mowing, it also sweeps up grass clippings, leaves, and even small twigs. I get a lot of storms where random debris just drops out of nowhere, so it's super practical. There is a catch. It doesn't handle big branches. Anything over about 1.5 inches, you'll still need to pick up by hand. But for regular mowing and tidying, it saves me an extra step. I also really appreciate that the sweeper can empty itself once the basket is full. Through the app, you can set spots on your property for it to go dump everything, so you're not left with piles everywhere. Again, it feels like a small but meaningful upgrade from just mowing. When it comes to maintenance, it's easy, which I honestly appreciate. The whole rear hatch opens up so you can get to the filter basket and empty it. The blades are replaceable, and the machine has reminders for service tasks, so you don't lose track of upkeep. From my experience, the only real downsides are the price and those large sticks or odd-shaped obstacles. YUKA 2000 isn't cheap, but then again, what good quality robotic mower is? You are paying for all those smart features, the mapping, and not having to set up or bury any annoying wires around your yard. Obstacle detection works well most of the time, but things like garden hoses, really weirdly shaped toys, or chunks of wood can sometimes trip it up. It'll either keep avoiding or get confused and pause until you help it. So you do still want to check in once in a while. In my opinion, YUKA 2000 is perfect for people with medium to larger lawns who are tired of losing weekends to mowing, or folks who just want a neat, consistent yard with as little effort as possible. If you struggle with uneven grass types, awkward slopes, this thing can go up and down hills up to 45%, which is more than I expected, or too much yard cleaning, you'll definitely appreciate what it can do. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants to automate their lawn care, but still expects a professional finish, because that's what it delivers, especially if you get the sweeper attachment. I remember being unsure about spending so much, but after a couple weeks of consistent mowing and all the extra free time, I'm honestly glad I made the jump. Other than emptying the basket, cleaning up big twigs, and sometimes untangling it from weird obstacles, I hardly do anything. The YUKA keeps the yard looking good and lets me chill on the patio instead of hauling the old push mower around. In conclusion, the YUKA 2000 Robot Lawn Mower does exactly what the company promises. It's straightforward for beginners, requires almost no babysitting, and it does a really solid job across different grass types and yard layouts. There are a few small trade-offs, but compared to doing it all by hand, this is a massive improvement in my routine. If you're thinking about upgrading your lawn care, or just want to make life easier, I do think the YUKA 2000 is worth checking out. Subscribe to my channel if you found this quick review helpful, and leave a comment if you have questions, or if you've used a robotic mower and have tips to share. Thank you for watching.